Hello, my friends. This is a new episode of Explore and Engage with Anam. Thank you for staying connected with me. And today I'm going to be talking about Operation Midway Blitz. Operation Midway Blitz is underway. It's already happening. It's taking place. After eagerly waiting for the Trump administration to start a major law enforcement operation in Chicago, it is finally happening. On Monday, it was announced that ICE, which is Immigration and Customs Enforcement, everyone knows the name ICE. Everyone knows about this agency by now. So Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE. On Monday, it was announced that ICE has launched Operation Midway Blitz to target criminal, illegal aliens. And this operation is taking place in Illinois. My friends, keep in mind, this is not just in Chicago, it's in Illinois. So if criminal aliens think that they're just going to run out of Chicago and then seek refuge somewhere else in some other part of Illinois, guess what? It's not going to work. They will be arrested. And ICE is much stronger now, and becoming stronger every day. This agency is becoming stronger every day because ICE has been hiring more people. So the ICE workforce is getting bigger and stronger. And there's tremendous support for ICE. If you go and talk to freedom-loving Americans, in your community, wherever you're listening from, whatever state, you could be in Texas, you could be in Arkansas, you could be in Wisconsin, where I'm in Wisconsin. You could be in Idaho. You could be in Virginia. You could be in Pennsylvania. You could be in Nevada, wherever you are, my friends. You just go out in the community and talk to freedom-loving Americans, and they will tell you that they support ICE. Overwhelmingly, the American people, freedom-loving Americans, law-abiding Americans, they support Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE. So ICE has seen a surge in its workforce, which means that the agency will be more efficient and more effective in their work. And going forward, things are just going to get better and better and better. And ICE, as I have said, I'm repeating now, ICE is going to become stronger and stronger. So why was this Operation Midway Blitz launched in Illinois? Well, one obvious reason is the fact that Illinois is a sanctuary state. It's a sanctuary state. And what do I mean by sanctuary? It means it's a sanctuary for illegal immigrants. So any state that is a sanctuary jurisdiction for illegals will likely be on the radar for ICE enforcement action. And then we have seen how desperate the Democrats are in Illinois. They are desperate to protect illegal aliens, no matter what. If you listen to these left-wing politicians who are members of the Democrat Party, they're the Democrats, okay? They're members and supporters and allies of the Democrats. If you listen to them, you'll probably think that they care about illegal aliens more than U.S. citizens. And that is likely the case. They care more about illegal aliens than they care about U.S. citizens. The Democrats, they have a long-term plan. A plan to bring more illegal aliens, more foreign nationals from other countries illegally, not through the proper process, okay? The proper process, if somebody is coming in legally, we support that, definitely. But the issue is the illegal entry. But the Democrats, they support people coming in, foreign nationals coming in illegally. And then the Democrats also support creating a pathway to citizenship for illegal aliens. Okay? Now, thankfully, in November 2024, the American people elected Donald J. Trump to be the 47th president. And that's why the Democrats could not go ahead with their plan. But the Democrats had that plan, and they still do for the future. I think that's what they're going to try to do if they ever get power, if they ever get the majority in the Senate, if they ever get the majority in the House, if they ever win the White House. That is what the Democrats are going to try to do. They're going to try to create a pathway to citizenship for the illegal aliens. But we, the freedom-loving Americans, we're not going to let that happen. So thankfully, we have Donald J. Trump in the White House, and the Republicans are in the majority in the Senate, the Republicans are in the majority in the House, which is why the Democrats have not been successful in creating a pathway to citizenship for the illegal aliens. So what the Democrats want to do, and I think people understand that, I'm going to tell you what it is, but I think you know this already. And once I tell you, you're just going to say, yeah, Toss, if we know what the Democrats want to do. You don't have to tell us. But let me tell you, the Democrats want to create a new voting population for their own political dreams and desires. The Democrats, the only reason why they support creating a pathway to citizenship for the illegals is to create a new voting population that will then vote for the Democrats so that the Democrats can continue to enjoy political power. But thankfully, the Democrats are in the minority in the Senate, they are in the minority in the House, and the Democrats don't have the White House. So, my friends, the American people spoke loudly and clearly in November 2024, and they voted for Donald J. Trump. And every day the Trump administration continues to make America great again. We continue to make America great again. So, my friends, the American people will never allow a pathway to citizenship for the illegals. It's never going to happen. We will not allow that. The American people will protect the Constitution and ensure law and order. You just have to play the tape and listen to everything. Now, I'm talking about Illinois again. You just have to play the tape and listen to everything that Mayor Brandon Johnson said publicly in support of the undocumented immigrants, okay? More appropriate description would be illegal aliens. And then one would assume that perhaps, the governor would be more reasonable, okay? No, in reality, absolutely not. Governor J.B. Pritzker of Illinois, the things that he has said, the things that he has done, not reasonable at all. Not at all, okay? And it seems at this point that we cannot expect anything reasonable from Governor J.B. Pritzker of Illinois. So when there's a mayor who cares about the illegals more, okay, Mayor Brandon Johnson of Chicago, and when there's a governor who also cares about the illegal immigrants, cares about the illegal immigrants more than the U.S. citizens, the question is, what should be done? What should be done? What's the next course of action? Well, exactly what the Trump administration is doing by launching this operation called Midway Blitz. This is the only option, okay? When there's a mayor of a major U.S. city, Mayor Brandon Johnson of Chicago, when he's prioritizing the illegals, when Governor J.B. Pritzker of Illinois is prioritizing the illegals, the Trump administration has no other option but to launch this operation. Now, we know that Chicago has been a magnet for illegal aliens. It has been for years. a magnet that has been drawing more and more illegal aliens. But you know what? Now it is going to change. The Trump administration will restore law and order in Chicago, in Illinois. And my friends, we have to pray for the ICE agents, the federal agents. We have to thank them for the great work that they are doing. The great work, the service that they are providing to this country. We have to pray for the ICE agents, for all the federal agents involved in ensuring law and order. Okay, the Department of Homeland Security published a post on X, and it reads, and I quote, "Operation Midway Blitz will flood the zone with DHS law enforcement in Chicago," end quote. I love it. Operation Midway Blitz will flood the zone with DHS law enforcement in Chicago. And the post also stated that President Trump and Secretary Noem have a clear message, which is, no city is a safe haven for criminal illegal aliens. And I'm going to repeat that, my friends, and I want you to pay attention. No city is a safe haven for criminal illegal aliens. Plain and simple. If anyone comes to the United States of America illegally and breaks our laws, then that person will be apprehended, will be arrested, will be deported. And with a very strong border that we have now, because the Trump administration made sure that we have border security, with the very strong border that we have now, the United States of America will make sure that these individuals who are being deported, that they can never return, that they can never re-enter the United States. Once deported, they're gone, they're outside the US, and they're never going to be allowed to come back into our great country, America. My friends, I want to point something out. And this is important, so please pay attention. Just because there's a massive law enforcement operation in Illinois, it doesn't mean that ICE actions are not taking place elsewhere, okay? And this is important because I know that right now you turn on the TV, you're reading the news, you're scrolling on the internet, and you're scrolling your social media page or whatever, you're on a news site. You are going to see news and updates and comments and opinions about this Operation Midway Blitz in Illinois. But it doesn't mean that that's the only place where ICE is taking some kind of action. No. Okay? No. It's important to remember that ICE is active. I mean, they are federal agents. They are active all over the country. Okay? I think sometimes people think of one thing at a time. So it's important to remind oneself that ICE is working all over the country, and certain places definitely need more attention. There's no doubt about that. And that's when you hear about, special operations such as, Operation Midway Blitz in Illinois. But ICE is active. ICE has nationwide jurisdiction. And so ICE is going to be doing, whatever is necessary to ensure law and order, to ensure that we are catching the criminal aliens, the dangerous criminal aliens. So ICE agents are working very hard, and they are active in Illinois and beyond, definitely. All you have to do is go to the website for the Department of Homeland Security, or go to the website for ICE, and you check out the news updates, okay? There's going to be a news section. You look at the press releases, you look at the news updates coming out of the newsroom, and you'll see information about some of the most dangerous criminals who are being arrested, okay, by federal agents. So you'll find that information, and you'll see that federal agents are working all over the country, So, my friends, here's what you're gonna see over the next few days or weeks in Illinois. Okay, the Democrats, they are likely going to appear alongside immigrant rights groups. Okay, so Democrat politicians, they are probably going to be making public appearances with immigrant rights groups and advocates. But keep in mind, whenever you hear the word immigrant, keep in mind there's a difference between legal immigrant and illegal immigrant. So when someone says that he or she is an immigrant rights advocate, just ask the question, what exactly do you mean by immigrants? True immigrants, the real immigrants are those who come to the United States legally. They complete the paperwork, they go through the proper process, they go through the proper channels, they wait patiently, and they are the ones who are coming into the United States of America legally. And we want legal immigration. We welcome them. We welcome legal immigrants. But then there are illegal immigrants. And so if you find someone who advocates for illegal immigrants, that's not an immigrants' rights issue. Okay? Advocating for illegal immigrants is not an immigrants' rights issue. People who support illegal immigration cannot claim to be immigrants' rights advocates. So having said that, Democrats in Illinois might do events over the next few days or weeks. These politicians, these left-wing politicians, they might do events with people who claim to be immigrants' rights advocates or activists supporting immigrants' rights, but always try to find out if these groups are actually supporting legal immigrants or they are just advocating for the illegal aliens. Okay, so you're gonna have to always ask that question. If someone says that he or she is an immigrants' rights advocate, like, okay, what exactly do you mean? Are you advocating for illegal immigrants or legal immigrants? So if there's a group that just wants illegal immigrants to get a pathway to citizenship, if there's a group that just wants illegal immigrants to stay in the United States without any legal consequences, that's not a group that you want to talk to, okay? Because such advocates have just lost their minds and they have no common sense left. So anyone, plain and simple, anyone advocating for illegal immigrants, okay, that person probably does not have common sense. That person has probably abandoned logic and reason. So you can never have a conversation with someone who just does not have common sense, someone who refuses to understand logic and reason. So my friends, going forward, do not be surprised or shocked if you see Illinois Democrats getting together with these so-called, immigrants' rights advocates and trying to do publicity stunts in favor of illegal aliens. Okay, the Democrats might do that. They might be out there giving speeches and whatever, doing parades or maybe doing roundtable discussions or whatever. The Democrats, they are going to focus on this issue and they are going to be expressing their strong support for the illegal aliens. Okay, they'll do photo ops and meetings and shaking hands and all that. They'll make statements. So it's quite likely that you're going to see this coming out of Illinois. And any and all statements that the Democrats make, they would, those statements would likely be against the Trump administration. So the Democrats may talk about Operation Midway Blitz, and they're probably going to make up stories to demonize the federal law enforcement officials. And, that's typical Democrat Party stunt that you're likely going to see going forward, okay? But my friends, I want you to always focus on the truth. Focus on the truth. And one thing that I've always said, and I've said it many times during the live streams that I do on my YouTube channel, I've said that the truth is the foundation. The truth is the foundation. So, my friends, that is so important. Whatever we say, whatever we do, the truth has to be the foundation. The truth is the foundation of my podcast. The truth is the foundation of my YouTube channel. So focus on the truth, because the truth will prevail. The truth always wins, no matter how difficult the challenges may be, no matter how many barriers there may be. If you pursue the truth, if you follow the truth will take you to the right destination. So, my friends, the truth is that we, the American people, we, the voters, we voted for law and order, plain and simple. It's a mandate that the voters handed to the Trump administration. Okay, it's a mandate. Ensure law and order. Combat illegal immigration. Secure the border. Deport those who came into the United States illegally and they're breaking our laws and they're committing all kinds of crimes. Deport these dangerous criminal aliens. Plain and simple. And it's a mandate, okay, from the people. So the American people voted for this. So when you hear people, those left-wing activists out there complaining about Operation Midway Blitz, just remember and remind them, if you can, remind them, hey, this is what the American people voted for. This is what we want to see. We want to see law and order being restored. We want to see the end of lawlessness. We want to see the end of chaos. We want peace and prosperity in cities and states and all over the country. In neighborhoods across the country, we want to see peace and prosperity. And the Trump administration is working very, very hard to make that happen. So we, the American people, we applaud the Trump administration launching Operation Midway Blitz in Illinois. It's in Illinois, but it doesn't mean that ICE action is only taking place in Illinois. Keep that in mind, my friends. And so I hope that the Trump administration continues to do the great work that they have been doing when it comes to securing the border and enforcing our nation's immigration laws and catching the criminal aliens. So I wish the Trump administration all the very best, and I applaud the great work that they're doing. And I know that many of the listeners, many of the friends out there, you're listening to me, you agree with my viewpoints. Maybe some of you don't. That's fine. Okay, if you don't, share with me why you don't agree with me, what your thoughts are. And if you agree with me, my friends, I want to hear from you as well. Absolutely. Absolutely. So you can just let me know if you believe that the Operation Midway Blitz, this operation is the right decision. I believe it is, and I applaud this decision. So I want to hear from you, your thoughts. So go to my website, tausifanam.net. You can send me a message through my website. You can also email me directly. My email address is tausif@tausifanam.net, and you can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, X, and Truth Social. So connect with me, share with me your thoughts, my friends. And remember, together, we will make America great again. With that, thank you so very much, my friends. I'm very grateful that you continue to listen to my podcast. And I hope to be back again soon with a new episode of Explore and Engage with Anam.